Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a Inspira y Empodera aquí en la mirada interior. Los saluda Verónica Vázquez. Hoy tenemos un programa muy especial que se llevará a cabo en inglés. Sé que siempre lo transmito en español, pero en esta ocasión va a ser en inglés y si tienen algunas preguntas, gustan que los traduzca, con mucho gusto lo haré. Welcome to Inspira y Empodera, Inspire and Empower, a podcast by La Mirada Interior where we dive deep into lives that transformed by intuition, purpose, and something greater than chance. I'm your host, Veronica, and today's episode is not just inspiring, but it's electric. My guest today is someone who has walked through darkness and wrote her way into light. Where She's the author of It Happened in a Flash, The Unexpected, a published author that not only faced homelessness, uncertainty, and the inner knowing that wouldn't let go. Please welcome Yoli Chambers. Hi, how are you?
Hello, thank you so much for having me on. I'm very, very thankful for this platform.
Yes, where are you from? Tell us a little bit about you. This space is completely yours.
Thank you so much. My name is Yoli Chambers. I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm in healthcare. I'm in the medical field. Uh, Started off like medical assisting, things like that, and I'm again happy to be here and just ready to talk to the audience.
Yes, and we welcome you. We're very happy that you're here with us and that you accepted to be on this program, this podcast. Your story is very inspiring. When I met you, I was so happy, and I'm still so happy. You have such an amazing energy. Let's dig back a little bit to the past, the struggle. Let's begin with what was life before publishing this book. How was that for you?
Life before the book was very private because, it does take a lot, to come out and share your story with other people. You don't, know how they will perceive, what you have to offer. So again, it was very private prior to writing the book. A lot of my friends didn't know some of the things that I've gone through.
Tell us a little bit about those things, Yoli.
Um, so in general, if we want to go right into the homelessness that type of struggle, during the time when I went through that period, unfortunately, my mother, at a very, very young age, she came down with breast cancer, and so that caused us not to be able to afford for her to work in our living situation at that time. So we were pretty much sleeping out of a vehicle in an abandoned building for about a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a while there, just while she struggled to try to whip things into shape and get things together to be able to afford, the living cost of living.
Absolutely. Wow, that must have been heartbreaking. And this was throughout your childhood?
Yeah, so this happened between ages 6 to 7, and yeah, and then fortunately for me, although at the time it was pretty heartbreaking that she was like, "I'm sorry, I need a better life for you. I'm not going to be able to take care of you." So she did eventually send me to live with my grandparents,
Mhm.
and that really took on a whole nother turn for me at that time.
Absolutely. I hope it was for the best, right?
Oh, it was absolutely for it. I wouldn't change it for the world. It was a very, very good thing for her to do. Very selfless to do. She could have, said no, never mind, stay here with me. But I was fortunate, and I didn't see it at that time. But when you grow up, you become an adult, you find out sometimes your parents just have to make harsh decisions, at that time. But it all turns out for the better.
Wow. I'm going to go ahead, if you don't mind, if it's okay with you, translate this in Spanish just very briefly. We have audiences that are listening to us from Mexico, from here, Phoenix, and Colombia currently. So let them know. Thank you. Nuestra invitada Yoli nos dice que ella es una persona que sufrió el no tener una casa, una vivienda cuando era una niña porque su mamá sufría de cáncer. Vivieron aproximadamente alrededor de un año en el coche en lo que su mamá trataba de proveer por ella hasta que decidieron que viviera con su abuela, con sus abuelos. Eso fue lo que a ella le ayudó para salir adelante. Yoli es una autora. Ella escribió su libro a base y su libro se trata de visiones, visiones que ella mira y se vuelven realidad. Thank you. Okay. Yoli, were there any moments during that time where your intuition tried to speak to you even when you didn't want to hear it? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. So this was during the time that I was around 5 years old. I didn't know how to really interpret it at the time. I knew that, I would get things that would come to me from time to time, but that's when I learned at 5 years old that I needed to start to listen to my intuition and myself. And this didn't come to me any other way but just a feeling, like a really strong feeling that I had. But at the same time, I was being a bit selfish because I wanted my pillow, and the pillow was out in the car. And so I went at my mother's saying, "No, no, don't go out there. Just wait. You can wait." And I was going, "No, no, no. I really need to just go get my pillow. I'm tired. I just want to lay down. I need my pillow." And so I went out to get the pillow, and I almost got kidnapped.
Oh
There was
no.
there was a family that was there, and for whatever reason, um, they decided they wanted me.
Mm,
And I jumped into the car and I locked all the doors because back then it wasn't a click lock. I had to physically get up and hit each button down. And so I got
right.
to the last one before they were able to yank on that door. And then I was able to scream, very loudly. And fortunately, there was a security guard not too far away where he did hear me and he came to investigate. And that's when they jumped in their vehicle and sped away. So
Wow.
after that, that's when I learned to start listening to my inner self.
You had that gut feeling and you
Yeah.
still
And I
decide to
still did it. I
follow
went against it.
it. Wow. And just at 5 years old,
Yes.
what kept you going? What was the turning point for you, or was it more like a slow awakening throughout your entire, you know, childhood, adolescence?
So what kept me going is this inner feeling of, although monetarily it didn't match up, but it was the inner feeling of always feeling rich, just feeling like I was just rich beyond like monetary belief. And um, every day that just it was just something inside of me that would say, "Hey, even though you're going through this, you're rich. You're rich." And that's just what carried me through, is that inner feeling that,
That you were rich.
yes,
And you are.
beyond belief. Thank
And you are, yes.
you.
It's it's incredible how the human spirit can endure, but it's even more powerful when you finally realize and you start listening to your own whispers, and then that's where your turning point starts shifting into a better life.
Yes,
And I'm so happy for you. This is like amazing
thank
to
you.
be learning about this. Let me let them know. Let my Spanish speakers know. Lo que Yoli nos está diciendo es de que ella siempre ha sido una persona desde muy niña intuitiva, y le preguntaba que cuándo inició esta intuición, cuando decidió hacerle caso. Dice que tan solo tenía 5 añitos cuando ella no quería salir al carro, pero quería una almohada que estaba en el carro y allí intentaron de secuestrarla. Y fue cuando ella se dio cuenta de empezar a hacerle caso de la intuición de uno. Yoli nos dice que desde ese entonces ella ha aprendido mucho a seguir esa corazonada que tiene, de prestarle y hacerle caso a su intuición para que no sucedan cosas que no queremos, obviamente. Y de allí nace este libro que viene siendo la intuición. Now, Yoli, from the inner voice and your intuition, your book speaks of precognitive visions. What does that mean?
Yeah, so it's more like having like a premonition. Um, so it was something that would come to me like in like a little short film, and I never was able to explain it. That's why I would always say it happened in a flash, the unexplainable, because I never could explain how I was able to get this little short film and then have it come to fruition.
Wow. Would you tell me that you first realized you had this gift when you were 5 years old in that time, or did you find this out throughout the years?
So I didn't realize prior to that I was getting those things that were coming through, but I believe that it really hit me more so with the like the intuition part when I was 5, and then I started noticing, wait a minute, I am getting things that are coming through, but at first I thought everybody got that. I thought it was a
Mhm.
normal thing. So it wasn't in me to really share anything, only if I would like see something like really bad that I thought was bad, I'd go, "Oh my goodness, I have to go tell this person like this is what's going on." But other than that, yeah, I had kept it to myself a lot. But then I started verbalizing it quite a bit more after the experience of almost being kidnapped.
Oh my
I
goodness.
didn't want anybody else to go through that experience, so I said if I saw something and I thought it was going to have a negative impact, I definitely would run and tell an adult.
You would describe it like a small vision that just flashed.
Just a little film that would play in front of my eyes, and yeah.
This is truly a gift, actually, and a lot of the times, we pretty much sometimes will say something like if we see a taller, and then we'll say like he's gonna fall, and he falls. Would that be something similar?
Yes, it is actually very much so. There's things that I would see and I would say, hey, and then I would warn the person, like, hey, you know what? Don't do this because this is what's going to happen. And so that's how I earned my nickname, the Jinx.
The what? I'm sorry.
The Jinx. So
The
the
jeans.
Jinx
Yeah.
means like, you're like, oh, you're bad luck. You say this and it happens. So you're bad luck. And that's how I earned my name, the Jinx, because I didn't realize at that time. I mean, I was seeing good things too, but when you're a kid and you see something bad, you want to run and tell somebody. That's what you saw.
Right. Did you ever doubt yourself?
No, because
Never.
never, not once, because it always came true every single time, and that's why I was called the Jinx. But
Yeah.
yes, no, I never had any doubt. Once I started seeing it consistently in a
Mhm.
pattern that it would be true, then there was no reason for me to doubt. I always knew.
Give us, or if you can give us an example of, something that became true that you saw.
Oh, they're all bad stuff.
So
Yes,
maybe
but I could share.
it's best.
It's all
Yeah,
bad.
but we're not
No,
too
it's all
bad.
bad stuff. But I'm like, oh my goodness, it's really. I mean, it's yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's Oh goodness. So okay, now I'm going for it. I'm being very 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 vulnerable here, but yes, there was a time that, of course, like as you know, like I said, my mother, uh, very very young age with the breast cancer and all of that, right? And she wanted to take an opportunity. This lady had offered her to be a lookout, and I was like, going, wait, what? So soon as I heard her say like, okay, yeah, I'm getting ready to go. She's getting all dressed up, and she's like, oh, just to look out. I don't have to do anything else. Yeah, I could use the money. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, okay. And then I that's when I had a flash come over me, and I says, hey mom, if you leave today, like if you leave with your friend, you're going to jail today. That's what I told her. And she says, wait, what? She goes, be quiet, because she already knew from experience that if I would say something, that it was going to happen. So of course she ignored me, and it wasn't until I was at my grandmother's, my grandparent, and the call comes through like, "Hi, could you please take a collect call from?" And it happened. So, and
Oh,
then she
wow.
asked me later, like, "How did you know that?" And I was like, "Mom, I always tell you, So it was always difficult because she was one very skeptical. She wouldn't, over the years, listen to me, even though everything would come true. She still wouldn't listen.
So over time, your intuition felt stronger and stronger than logic.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yes, and
Wow.
that is one of the reasons that I never doubted it. But as you start to grow up, see when you're younger, you know how you don't have a filter.
Right.
The children, they say it bluntly, but it's a learned behavior that later on down the road we're told that's not appropriate. You can't tell people that, or you can't say that. So that's how we learn to not come right out and say what we feel or see or know. And so that's how that kind of started to transform onto me, where later I just started going, you know what, I'm going to only say what's like really necessary. So even if it would be minorly like minor life changing, um, I wouldn't say anything to anyone, not unless it was really going to be very impactful, like uh, near death.
Right. Yeah. And you can see that, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Also,
Hmm.
have you, I don't know if I asked you this, but I'm just amazed with your gift. Have you ever been scared?
The weird thing is, no, and the reason I can say that is because it's really weird. Once I tell you what I have to say, I release it and it's gone, and I don't even think about it anymore.
Mhm.
Once I deliver the message, that it's a wipe. But I feel that I need to come to you and tell you right away, like, hey, this is urgent. This is what's going on, because my window of timing would always be between an hour to 2 hours. So like right between right away, pretty much window to 1 to 2 hours for it to
Mhm.
happen.
Oh, okay. So you even have that down where you know like the timing of it
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And your visions, your flashes, you would say they're how long approximately? Seconds maybe?
Yeah, it'd just be just a picture, like a flash little video, just enough for me to capture what's going to happen, and then it disappears.
Mhm. Wow. What you're describing is something that many feel and many have gone through that, but few of us trust. We're scared, we don't want to admit, and we don't want to say anything. As I find it beautiful that you were able to not ignore those flashes and do something about it, and you followed them. That's
Yeah.
just amazing. And this is how this shifts over to the book. It happened in a flash, the unexpected. Correct.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
exactly it. Yes. Yeah,
Let,
still unexplainable to me, but yes, it is.
let's talk a little bit about the book. What inspired you to finally write it?
So I was in a college course, psychiatry, and I was going there because I was pursuing, continuing on in the medical field, and the professor at the college said, "Hey, I need you guys to write about, something to do with the psyche, something to do with mental, anything, just like give me something, and this is, how many pages it needs to be or whatever." And that was the first time I ever shared with a complete stranger all of the stuff and my stories that I went through. And I said, "Oh my goodness, I may have something here," because once I turned in that paper, uh, mine was the only one she didn't give back. She graded everybody else's paper and she returned it, and with mine, she kept it. And I said, "Can I get my paper back? What kind of grade do I have in this class?" Because I was always concerned about my academics. And she goes, "Well, I'm not done reading it yet. I just want to hold on to it, or I want to reread it again." And I was just like, "Okay, that's different, but all right, okay." So yeah, that's how I kind of found out that, what, it might be okay to share with the world.
Right. Did she keep it?
She kept it.
She kept it.
She kept it. She never
Wow.
gave it back.
Wow. That's amazing. Um, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and translate here. Yoli nos cuenta que por sus visiones intuitivas que se hacían realidad, por ejemplo, cuando decimos, miramos a un niño y decimos, se va a caer y te caen, o que tienes una visión chiquita y se vuelve realidad. Nos comenta que de allí nace su intuición y el poder de escribir este libro cuando está en la escuela. La maestra les pide que escriban historias. Ella empieza a escribir historias de sus visiones y de que se le han vuelto realidad. Y de allí nace el libro que se llama, a ver si lo puedo traducir aquí el libro, pasó pasó como en un segundo. I believe that's how you say flash. Segundo. Pasó como un segundo lo inesperado. Ese es el título de su libro y donde allí nos va a contar un poquito más de qué se trata. Yoli, how does your book reflect in your real life? Are there any stories based on personal visions in that book?
Yes, so they all are personal,
Oh,
directly from me, and all are true. Yes, yes.
wow. Wow. How many pages does that?
So it's a short read. It's 110. It's like a little over, yeah,
Well,
110. So, but
that's
it's
not
a
too
short
short.
read. It's a short read. But yeah, it's just me getting just right to the point of sharing, you know, some of the stories and not everything. And then, after you go, there's a lot more I could have put in that book. And
Right.
so, but yes, yes, short
What do
read.
you hope people take away from reading it?
So, um, I hope that the takeaway would be that if you do encounter someone, like maybe a child or something like that, that has that same type of thing, gift, or it's so weird for me to say gift, but has that, maybe that you can be open to talk to them and not alienate them, kind of like I was alienated. I had no one to talk to about it. I just went and expressed what I had to deliver in that message. Um, but as far everybody would just try to shut me down before I could speak because I go, "I have something I need to tell you." And as soon as I would do that, they go, "Just shut up, be quiet. I don't want to hear it. Everything you say, it comes true. You're the jinx, just be quiet." So that was their solution. So it was almost as if instead of me warning somebody, that I was making it happen because I verbalized it and it would come true within that 1 to 2 hour window.
That's a beautiful message. I will share that before I forget this one. It's beautiful. Ella dice que le he preguntado que si el libro tiene historias reales de su vida, de estas visiones que se le han hecho realidad, y dice que todo el libro son a base de historias personales, pero le pregunto que cuál es el propósito o qué quiere que sea el propósito de que la gente lea su libro. Y el mensaje es el siguiente, que quiere que si conocen a un niño que tiene este don de mirar cosas y que se vuelven realidad, que no lo juzguen, que lo apoyen, que hablen con él y no lo hagan sentir, pues básicamente como que no tienes que decir eso, no digas eso porque eso está mal. Todos tenemos dones y creo que es una buena manera de alimentarlos y al leer su libro de ella, ese es el propósito que Yoli está buscando. Thank you. This book, well, pretty much this book doesn't really just tell a story. It actually is activating something in the reader, right? You're remembering, you're recognizing, you're thinking, you're pretty much thinking of what you have thought and seen, and it happened. So, would you consider this as a guide for those that do have these visions? Because I will admit I do have those visions as well, but I've never pursued anything. I just like rather not say anything because I don't want to get scared. I don't want to scare anybody. But there's been times where I say something like, "Oh, so and so is on the phone. It's calling you," when caller ID didn't existed, and it was that person. So, what would you think? Is this kind of like a guide?
You know what? That is a very good way to put it. That was one of my goals, is to to share my stories, because I know that a lot of people were, skeptical to say, and it's hard for them to, like you said, to even own up, to go, I get that too, but I'll never say anything, or I don't want to talk about it because, of, I'm going to say it's because of like things that you're taught when you're growing up, as far as like religion and things like that, that we're not supposed to be able to know or to see those things or tap into that area wherever it happens to come from. And so I think with that, I want those who, you know, are very religious to know that, spiritually, that these things can happen, they can exist, and that you're not, you know, some weird, freak of nature or something, and they'll say, "Hey, you know what? Just be quiet. I don't want to talk about it." So those of us who do have that, of course, again, it was nice to know that there's others, out
Right.
there that also experience it, but they don't want to say anything, and I understand why.
Right. And because it's not scientifically proven, it goes into the spirituality.
Correct.
Yes, yes. What has changed in your life after the book was published?
Just receiving receiving that validation, which sometimes you don't always know that it's that important until people, are able to read your story and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe it." Or I've been having somebody in my family that's been telling me that, but I wasn't sure, but I know you. So I'm like, so it's weird that sometimes people have to hear it outside of their own family. If we've all experienced where maybe a family member has told us something and we didn't listen to them, but a friend came along and said the same exact thing, and we went, "Wait, what? Really?" And you listen to them. It's in the same line of that. Sometimes it just
Okay.
has to be said from a stranger before you kind of get it and it sinks in.
Right. Have anybody reached out to you, people that have read it and told you that it has changed your life in some type of aspect?
You know what? Yes, one of my favorite stories that I have for you regarding that is something that I had written in the book, and I never ever took the time to even think, okay, somebody's going to latch on to this, and it's going to have an effect to change them in a certain way. It was just a piece that I happened to write about in the book of one of my experiences. And so it was just so wonderful and so neat for a young lady who hadn't spoken to her mother in years, because she had an experience that I had written about in the book. And she went to her mom and she told her mom, and her mom told her, "Oh, be quiet, shut up. I don't believe you about that." Just and she just said, "So me and my mom," she goes, "I would tell her over the years, 'Mom, this is what happened, Mom.'" She goes, "Nope, just shut up. You're a liar. I'm not going to believe you." So once she got my book, she read it and she cried, and then she dropped it off in the mailbox at her mother's home. and her mother read it, and they came back together after all those years. So
That's
that was the most
amazing.
touching one to me, that I never thought I would
And
impact
yeah,
someone in that way.
that is very touching. And ultimately, I think that if you're able to inspire at least one person, you've done a lot.
That was my
You,
exact.
yeah, and that sounds like it was amazing. I'm so happy for them and so happy for you.
Thank you.
If you could go back and speak to your younger self, that inner child of yours, when it was, you were struggling, what would you say to yourself now?
I would say I would not change a thing. And the reason being is because through all this struggle, through everything I've ever gone through, um, it makes me who I am today.
Right.
And I still feel just as rich as I felt when I didn't have the monetary means at that time to feel that way. And now I have that validation that, yeah, I am rich. It's amazing. You know,
Yeah.
just that inner, so I would not change a thing.
And your journey shows that even when you have nothing, you can still have everything inside you. A vision, a purpose, a voice. You just have to follow that intuition. I'm 100% with you. Yes.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead, and we have a couple of comments here, and I will read them to you. Let's see if I have them. Okay. We have Gracie Gracielita. Hola, hello. She is listening from here from Phoenix. She says, hi from Phoenix, Arizona. We have Manuel. He's listening from San Francisco, California. Hola, Manuel.
Hola.
Gracias por estar aquí. Yoli también nos habla un poquito español. Is
Sí,
that right, Yoli?
poquito. Sí.
Yes. Give us some Spanish words, Yoli.
Ah, usually it's during a dialogue in a I don't know, in a conversation. So
Yes.
I usually understand mainly everything. I used to be the translator in my medical practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
For
and then
for
but it's
English
because
and
it's my
Spanish?
second, yes, it was, but because it's my second language, once they brought in a translator to start translating, I
Mhm.
pretty much forgot most of the words to be able to say it very fast. And I tell people, no, no, no rapito, no. I tell them like, don't say it fast. If you say it slow, I can catch all the words and I can respond. But now I find myself mainly responding in English. When they
Yeah,
talk to me in Spanish, I understand everything, but then I wound up not being able to speak it back because I lost most of my words over the years.
yeah. Yoli nos está platicando que ella, cuando trabajaba en the medical field, right?
Yes.
En el hospital o en la línea médica, ella era la traductora de inglés y español, entonces ella era la que traducía todo al español, pero ya con los años le ha olvidado un poquito, que está bien, I can still understand you, you do know a couple of words. Maybe next time you'll come to the show and we'll do it all in Spanish.
Thank you. I
Manuel
appreciate
is
you
saying
having me.
a wow with your story, and he's sending you lots of hugs.
Thanks.
And I have Gracie says, people like you, Yoli, inspire me. Oh, that's
Oh,
cute.
thank you so much. Gracias.
We have a little heart from Hasperino.
Ah, yes, Esperanza. Yes, I
Yeah.
recognize that name.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so much. Yes, for.
We have Gracie sending us heart. We have Sandra Vasquez. She is listening from Michoacan, Mexico. And we have Marcela Molina also listening. She's sending you a hug. And then we have somebody that just said, hi, I truly loved your story.
Thank you so much.
We have Angel. Hola, Angelito. Thank you for sharing your story. Definitely inspiring. See all this love you're getting.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much
Yes.
for having me.
Yoli, what's next for you? Any projects in the works?
Yes, so right now I'm working on getting my clothing line redistributed. I had a clothing line with Amazon, all got good ratings, 5 stars, and so I'm just looking into redistricting where I want my permanent platform to be.
Le pregunto a Yoli que si hay algún proyecto en el futuro y ella dice que ahorita está trabajando en una línea de ropa para que la va a presentar con Amazon. Está en los últimos detalles, pero próximamente ella va a tener su línea de ropa. Y miren qué inspiración de mujer. Yo digo, estoy fascinada con ella porque de no tener nada, de no tener una casa propia, de vivir su niñez en un carro por un año, a ser una autora de un libro y ahora que empieza su línea de ropa, eso es admirable, le aplaudo. I'm applauding you because, like I said, from your journey and the success that you have now, it's amazing. And I am so happy I met you and I ran across with you because your story is absolutely amazing and inspiring for all of us. Where can people find the book and connect with you?
So the book is on Amazon, and it is you can order the book, the paperback, or you can download it to your Kindle
Yes.
through
And I put the
Amazon.
link on here if you can see it.
Thank
Yes, you can order your copy through Amazon. There's the link. Pueden ordenar su libro por medio de Amazon. Allí está el enlace para que lo compren. Es digital y también pueden comprar la copia, el libro actual, el libro físico. Anything that you would like to share with us?
I just want to thank everyone for tuning in and having an open ear and an open heart. And thank you so much for the comments and the love. I truly appreciate it. And Veronica, thank you so much for having me. I definitely appreciate your platform.
My pleasure. Thank you for being with us today. Your story reminds us that no matter how dark life gets, there's always light inside. And sometimes all it takes is a flash of faith and believing in yourself. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Inspira y Empodera. Muchas gracias por sontinizarse. No sé ni cómo decirlo en español muy correctamente, pero muchas gracias. Nos vemos en el próximo episodio de Inspira y Empodera, aquí dentro de la mirada interior. Adiós.